Today, I have for you the best neck harnesses on the market. Now, neck harnesses have had significant upgrades in the past few years. No longer are they just a piece of equipment to do neck extensions on. You have far more versatility depending on the neck harness you choose. If you're involved in combat sports, you've likely come across the neck harness or used it. Obviously, neck strength becomes important in many combat sports, striking, MMA, grappling. Regardless, you need neck strength not only to potentially help finish submissions, get out of funny positions, but also to reduce your risk of neck injury, neck strain when you're getting your neck cranked on, getting punched in the face. Having those things or that stress on your neck constantly, it's important to strengthen the neck. Now there is some research suggesting that training your neck may reduce your risk of concussions, but that research is here nor there. If you go back and listen to Gary Turner on the Sweet Science of Fighting podcast, he dispels a lot of these ideas about neck strain and concussion, and he has his own ideas. So I'm still on the fence about that, but regardless, training your neck is important, especially for combat sports. So I've got 3 neck harnesses to show you that I have that I think are the best neck harnesses. The first one, the Icky Alpha Plus neck harness. This is their latest model. I've got the Spud Ink neck harness. I've had this one for years. This one is made from the Hallmark Spud Ink strap material. And then I have the original Icky Alpha neck harness. And I'm going to take these through my 4 different categories: the comfort and fit of them, the durability and quality of the build, the exercise versatility of each one, and then going into the value and price. So the first thing I'm going to cover is the build quality of the Alpha Plus neck harness by Ironneck. So what they've done is they've used extra thick nylon on here, essentially to attach these D-rings. So if you take a look here, the stitching is embedded, and these D-rings are pretty much virtually indestructible. You're not going to get out of these. This thing is put together very well as you try to pull it apart, and you're going to have a lot of band tension or plates hanging off this, and that's important. Inside, you have this neoprene. So most neck harnesses, even the cheap ones as well, they scratch your ears, they scratch your head, they're uncomfortable to wear. This uses a neoprene inner, and it has this honeycomb. It actually runs smoothly over your ears and your head, so you don't get that scratchy feeling, especially if you've been grappling a lot and you're rubbing ears with other people, or you have cauliflower ear. The last thing you want is more things rubbing on you as you train your neck. Then you've got these, obviously I've mentioned these D-rings. These D-rings are sewn in very well. These will hold your tether or will hold your bands for your band tension. One thing that the Alpha Plus harness has that all other neck harnesses don't have is this adjustable head strap. So one of the issues with traditional neck harnesses, and even the original Alpha harness, is it can be too deep. So if it was too big, for example, if you bought a neck harness that was too big, it might sit too low over your eyes. But you can adjust that with this head strap. And that way you can get to sit where you want. If you're training a group of fighters as well, or athletes, that's important too. You can also change the circumference to fit any head using these side straps here. I'm not going to change that because it fits my head right now. Finally, you have a tether, and this is what I really like about the tether, is the plates will sit in the middle when it's hanging from your head. So the plates will sit here versus a chain where it sits slightly on the side. So Spud Ink has a neck harness made from their 1-inch webbing. It's actually really soft, and they've coated it somehow where it feels soft too. There's nothing much more to say about this. It's well put together. I've had this for years. The stitching is really good. It doesn't come apart. I've had weights hanging off this. It's really good. You've got the clip here that runs through the webbing itself. That's the only thing that might reduce the lifetime value of your neck harness, because as you start to clip in it, it can get caught in the clip. But other than that, that's all good. You also have this adjustable strap. You can adjust the circumference of the neck harness so you can make it smaller, wider, or smaller. You've got the little strap on top to keep it on your head. It comes with the chain as well. Obviously, the chain works well. It's simple, but the weights do tend to skew on either side of a chain link. So when you're using it, you can feel weight a little more on one side or the other, which can be a bit of a pain. Then we have the original Alpha harness by Ironneck. The main difference between this one and the Alpha Plus model is you don't have the adjustable top head strap. So this may be too big and cover your eyes. You can change the circumference. The nylon isn't as thick. You can definitely feel it. It's definitely thinner. It's more like a seatbelt thickness on this one. Everything else is the same, the D-rings. I mean, I haven't had any problems with this doing any band isometrics or anything like that. It used to come with a chain as well for the place, but now it comes with the same tether that the Alpha Plus harness comes with. This is just, I guess you could call it the budget version of the Alpha Plus harness. Again, I haven't had any problems with it regarding durability. It's still got the same neoprene inside. It's just not honeycombed, but it still feels smooth and doesn't rub against your ears like other cheaper neck harnesses will. So I'm going to cover the comfort and fit. I've touched on most of that in the previous section, but just to show you, it fits on the head nicely. It honestly feels like wearing a hat. You've also got an extra chin strap if you needed to lock it in. And typically you don't need to use this chin strap unless you're doing things like band rotations or you have a plate hanging off the back. But essentially the chin strap, you're just putting it straight through this gap. And you can make it tight if you need to make it tight. We have the Spud Ink harness regarding its fit. It actually sits really nicely. What they've done with the design is quite smart. Is when you put it on, they have the top head strap actually goes behind your head for when you're doing your neck extensions, as you can see here. And the little doggy ears actually come in front of your face. So instead of it rubbing on your ears as you're doing neck extensions, they stay in front. Obviously, you still get a little bit on your ears as the plates hang, depending on how you're doing your neck extensions. But because of the design, they sit further in front. If you're looking just for a neck harness just to do pure neck extensions, this is a great option too. We have the original Alpha harness here regarding its fit. To be honest, exactly the same as the Alpha Plus harness for me. It seems my head seems to fit most things, even with the original iron neck and things like that. Obviously, you cannot adjust the head strap. So if you do have a smaller head, you might find it runs too low. In that case, the Alpha Plus would be better there because it has more adjustability. So moving on to exercise versatility. Now, this is where the iron neck shines over other neck harnesses. Most neck harnesses only give you the option to do heavy neck extension. The Alpha harnesses give you the option to do all your four-way neck isometrics. You can do band rotations with the neck as well. Plus, you can do your normal neck extensions. Obviously, with things like the Spud Ink harness, that serves its purpose just to do neck extension, but you can't do everything else. I'm going to show you some example exercises. Now, for this one in particular, I have the strap a little lower. Typically, you're one at the same height, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm just doing these standing just to make it easier. They both serve their purpose for neck extension. Now, iron neck harnesses are a little more comfortable, especially when doing that neck extension, and obviously you have the advantage of being able to do the band isometric. So as you can see, the chain on the Spud neck harness is a little shorter. It swings a little bit because of the way the doggy ears are, whereas the tether is longer on the Alpha neck harness and it stays relatively in place. So let's talk price and value. We have the Spud Ink harness, retails for around $50. We have the same with the iron neck Alpha harness, which is $50. And then we have the Alpha Plus harness, which is $90. Now you might be thinking, I can go on Amazon and I can buy a neck harness for 15, 20 bucks. You can, but you're going to find a neck harness that is rough, that will rub on your ears, and it will not last. And I can promise you that because I've used many of those neck harnesses and I stopped using them because they rub your ears so badly and it just becomes a pain. These are comfortable and you have the versatility. That's why I like them so much. You can do your isometrics without having to hook up a different band. You just hook it in, straight in, do your isometrics. You can do some rotations. You have the options to do more exercises with this and it's more comfortable. If you're looking just for a pure neck harness, I would still advise or still recommend the iron neck, but you can also go with the Spud Ink. This is also a good option too. It's relatively comfortable if you want that hardcore look. Maybe you're training in some kind of bodybuilding gym. But if you go down the description, I also have discount codes for you for these as well. You can check those out. Also, if you like the video, like, subscribe, and I've got some more gear reviews coming for you.